Hello and welcome back. So I can't wait to get started today. Walking Dead Universe, we've got the starter set for the role-playing game and then the core rules. So I'm going to have a good look in this box and a bit of a flick through this book as well. This will be followed up in the next month or so by a solo playthrough. There's solo rules within this book, which I haven't opened a page yet, but I can't wait to get started. But I'll be doing a solo playthrough, probably give it around a month or so, and that'll be uploaded. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you some really awesome, cool customer services that interaction that I had from Free League today, actually. So I own a few of their products, mainly from the Alien RPG, and there'll be some content on that in the next few weeks as well. But I pre-ordered the Building Better Worlds expansion from them quite some time ago, and I haven't received my physical copy yet. So I emailed them today and said, just wondering if everything's okay, is it on its way? I got a response in 3 minutes saying, what's your order number, blah, 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 all the usual stuff. I responded and said, I don't have my order number. It was placed with this email address. Can you find it? They responded again within 4 minutes and said, yep, okay, just confirm that this is your address and then we can go ahead with it. Confirmed all my contact details and all that kind of stuff in the response. And then they responded to me in another 23 minutes, basically saying, we found the issue, this is what we're going to do about it, and this is when we're going to get your game. So basically, across the entire interaction, the most amount of time of it was 23 minutes for a response. And basically, the whole situation was resolved in about 40 minutes. It was incredible. Really excellent customer services. So massive shout out to Free League for that. And that is why I love supporting them. But with that done, let's get a look into these products. So I'm going to look at the starter set first. I'm assuming similar sort of stuff to... Oh, hang on a minute. So we've got 2 sets of dice. A Free League little catalogue, which is cool. Don't eat that. A threat meter. Let's quickly put this together. There you go. Very simple to put together. Little threat meter. Very cool. Okay, and let's have a look. We have some NPC sheets. Blossom, Bonnie, Cecil. Another one for Bonnie. Terry. Oh, and Lisa. Oh, sorry, these aren't all the same. Anyway, yeah, so some character sheets. This is familiar. Carol. So this is from the movie Carol. Glenn. Yes, it's got all their stuff. Michonne. Gabriel. Should have looked on the back of these other ones, actually. All right, yeah, just more stats. Okay. Very cool. 1, 2, 3 maps, 2 small ones. Very nice. These are not double-sided. There's no writing on these smaller ones, so I don't know where they are. They're very cool. Oh, 3 small maps. Yep, nice. A larger map. Right, what have we got here? Northeast Georgia. This one is double-sided, so we'll start with Northeast Georgia. I love the kind of... and Southwest Virginia. I love the quality of these sort of maps that you get from Free League. These are every bit as good as the ones from the Alien RPG. Very, very cool. Okay, some dice. So this game works on the Year Zero engine. So it's all D6s. And let's try our luck quickly. Oh, 3 6s and not a single one. Good stuff. So 3 successes. Very cool. Try with the red ones. I'm assuming these are going to be... Try and avoid any ones in this. Oh, we got a 6 and a 1, so cancel it out. Very, very cool. Okay. Right, so there's a scenario, the Wolves' Den, and then some rules. Let's have a look briefly at the rules. So, how many pages? This is a trimmed down rule book. Enough to get you playing at least. And it is about 40 pages. And let's see what we have in here. So it's got an introduction, the world of the dead, talking about player characters, characteristics, stress and anchors, using skills, a list of skills, duels, brawls, damage and healing, other hazards, gear, fighting the dead, and running the game. It's all very looks nicely laid out. The font is very clear. You won't be squinting through here. Kind of have a flick through this because we'll discover all this stuff again in the main core book. But yeah, all looks very nice. Injury tables. All right, yeah, lots and lots of options for gear. Okay, very cool. Scenario, the Wolves' Den. So I'll try not to show any spoilers here. Well, just don't zoom in. But we have the background, starting the scene. So this will incorporate our maps. Yeah, let's try not to spoil any of this actually. But yeah, this basically talks you through the actual scenario itself. But it looks cool. So this is a map that we've got a physical copy of. I wonder if there's more. No. But yeah, very, very cool. I like it. So that is the starter set. So basically 3 single-sided maps that are in A3, a double-sided map which is in A2, a whole bunch of, so these are NPCs. I'm assuming that these are PCs. So non-player characters and player characters kind of built up for you. A scenario book, the Wolves' Den, a set of basic rules just for the starter set, a threat meter, and a whole bunch of dice. So pretty good. Very good actually. I very much like the way that everything's that Free League lay out their product. I like the Year Zero engine. It's pretty intuitive and straightforward. And obviously, if you've played it in other games, you will find your feet very, very quickly when you play other ones. Now, let's have a look at the core book. The core rules. So this isn't a huge book. Looking for a page count. Yes, it's about 170 pages. Again, we'll kind of burst through this without any spoilers. Clearly you can see just from the contents, it is vastly expanded from the rulebook that is in the starter set. But same kind of individual titles: Introduction, The World of the Dead, Player Characters, Skills and Talents, Combat and Healing, Home and Away. So what's that? Home and Away. All right, The Haven, which is assumingly whatever haven you're at, wherever you are staying, your hideout and that kind of thing, and examples of havens, and then going on runs, so supply runs and that kind of thing. Running the game, Atlanta, The Golden Ambulance, don't know what that is, Appendix and Solo Play. So yes, so the introduction part here isn't specifically, it appears it's a bit about the game, but it does have some stuff here which is role-playing in general. What is role-playing? The role of the game master. So obviously with, you know, with well-known intellectual properties, you will no doubt attract people who aren't used to playing role-playing games and that kind of thing. They will just collect it for perhaps looking for lore and that kind of thing. But we will try and suck those people in as much as possible. Player characters, playing the game. It's nice quality, this book. The one thing it doesn't have, which I would have liked, is a bookmark. But like I say, it's not a huge book. So for example, I think the Alien RPG is probably their best-selling product. So from the size of this core rules book, probably about half the size of the Alien one. Now Alien, obviously there's a whole amount of lore and that kind of thing tucked into that book, as there is here obviously, but obviously much more available for the Alien world. Okay, so people, friends and foes, those who survive, what to live for. Okay, the player characters, so picking archetypes, what drives them, characteristics, so attributes and skills, talents, stress and anchors, so stress die. I'm assuming that one of these dice, one colour is normal rolling and the other is a stress, dice. Gear, experience, relationships, so relationships to NPCs, and character death. When your PC dies, you should start over with a new PC. You could either take over one of the NPC survivors in the group or create a new PC from scratch. If you create a new PC, they get introduced into the campaign during the next session. Okay, cool. Okay, and some D6 tables there for rolling for NPC survivors. A bit more about the Haven. So your Haven, during the game you will stay in different places that are temporarily safe. Your current home base is called the Haven. Okay, so various things here. Starting Haven, so the bus on the hill, the factory and the villa. It has different options there for capacity and defense. And then it all has its various issues. I really like this because it's, again, I am going to play this solo, and all this kind of stuff just makes it very easy to be able to get on and do it. Here are some player characters. The criminal. Oh yes, sorry. Yes, these are the main types that you can choose from: the criminal, the doctor, the farmer, the homemaker, the kid, the law enforcer, the nobody, the outcast, the politician, the preacher, the scientist, the soldier. Very good. Okay, then chapter 4 is all about skills and talents. So more discussion on stress dice, how it affects you. So basically 6s are successes, 1s reduce your success. But only on stress dice, not on normal dice. Pushing your rolls, failed tests, adding the mods. what happens when you mess up. When you roll a walker on the stress die, you mess up. Sorry, when you roll a walker on a stress die, so that is a 1, you mess up. Typically this means that you have attracted walkers that are now under attack. When you mess up in this way, the GM either raises the threat level by 1, or you suffer a single attack. Okay, very good. Oh yeah, you've got extra successes there as well. You impress the people around you, you get a little more than you wanted. So yeah, when you get, so basically when you roll a number of dice, when you have, maybe you're in combat or something like that, if you get a single 6, that is, regardless of how many dice you roll, if you get any 6s, it's automatic success for what you're trying to do. Didn't get any there, so I would have failed, in which case we move up to what happens on the messing up. But if you get more than 1 6, you consider the extra successes. So not only will you pass whatever you're trying to do, but you'll get something else as well. And with the stress die, I'm assuming these are right. If I was to roll 2 6s and a 1 on the stress dice, basically you just remove one of your successes. That's all it is. Okay. List of skills. Talents. So it's got different talents for the criminal and the doctor and all of the other kind of pre-generated, or sorry, not pre-generated, one of the options for your characters. So for example, the soldier's talents. So disillusioned. You do not take stress from seeing others commit brutal acts of violence or when committing them yourself. You saw great suffering. Eye on the ball. Relieve 1 stress every time a threat or an enemy is defeated or overcome. You did what had to be done. And suppressive fire. You can attack up to 3 enemies with the same attack when you use ranged combat. But they all take 1 less point of damage, and you can't add damage from extra successes. You were trained to be a soldier. Then general talents, which are Animal Companion, Centre of the Storm, Eagle Eyes, Health Nut, Herb Collector, and Ice in the Veins. Oh, blimey. Actually, there's a whole load of them. You can create your own talents. Okay, Combat and Healing. So again, this goes through the duels, covers messing up again, brawls, damage and healing. So we've got critical injuries table. So there's 4 options for dying here. Okay, so depending on what you roll, so you roll 2d6, the least that can happen is you become winded, which isn't lethal, as a penalty for 1 hour. The worst you can get is either crushed body, disemboweled, pierced heart, or impaled heart, in which case in all of those situations you die. And lots of the other ones are lethal. So yeah. Okay. Lots of other hazards and that kind of thing. Right. Details for vehicles. All right, and fighting the dead. So it is built up on swarm size. So 5 to 10 is a swarm size of 1. 11 to 20 is 2. 21 to 50 is 3. Blimey, 51 to 100 is 4. 100 plus is a 5, and 1,000 plus has a swarm size of 6. Okay. So yeah, this is all dedicated to just fighting the walkers. Now, within the game, depending on how you do it, what I'm really looking forward to in this is the range or the time span of which you can set your game. So you could set your game an hour after the outbreak, in which case there's going to be practically no zombies around, but there's going to be a certain amount of chaos from the locals and all that kind of thing. or you can set it 15 years after the outbreak. So there's very little humanity left. Maybe the walkers are reducing in numbers as well. There's quite a sparse land out there. So yeah, there's different ways of doing it. So very close to the outbreak, there's lots and lots of resources and that kind of thing, raid shops and that kind of thing. 15 years later, maybe less to get hold of, maybe living more on off your own back. Okay, chapter 6, home and away. So this is basically about work that is done within the haven, and it's got examples of that, and going on runs, so going and trying to get things. It's got movement tables there. So by car you can travel 5 sectors a day, and on foot you can travel 1 sector per day. And then more information on running the game. I won't go through this in much detail because it's GMs only. Core concepts, campaign preparation, NPC factions, more details about the haven and that kind of thing. But yeah, all you budding GMs out there, there's lots to get your teeth into. So it's like swarms, what area they're coming from, that kind of thing. Sessions and scenes, challenges, travel. So travel, that will again cover what we were talking about before. Describing a sector. Sectors are big. Each sector is 10 by 10 kilometers. That's a lot of ground to cover. So that's where your larger map from the starter set is going to come into play. You can roll on the weather. You can roll on ruins. Let's have a look. Okay, so a double 1 on 2d6 would be an abandoned haven with a flag hanging from the roof. For some reason, most of the walkers inside are wearing pink jumpsuits. Strange. More information about the wilderness and that kind of thing. Lots more kind of tables for rolling NPCs. Okay, very good, very good. Survival mode scenarios. And then chapter 8, Atlanta campaign setup. So the factions are the living, the reborn, the school. Details on swarms and locations. Right, very, very good. Let's get, all right, so there's more maps. So this kind of map here, that is not included within the maps you get in the starter set, so that's something new as well. There will be others. Okay, appendix, you've got walkers, empty rooms, random locations, non-player characters, scavenging, all that kind of thing. Right, okay, which brings us to solo play, which is what I'm most interested in, really. Okay, so here we're going to create your solo survivor. So effectively, you basically start with a higher number of skill points and you take a second free talent. After rolling your starting gear, give yourself a knife. So you start with more than you normally would. Solo tools, preparing your game. What's this? Relationships table. All right, yeah. So how you kind of work out all your different NPCs and that kind of thing and their relationships and that sort of stuff. Solo procedures, so for travel, session structure, exploring buildings in solo, NPC runs. NPC runs. When NPC goes on when NPCs go on runs and return, there's a chance they'll come back with a rumour in addition to something of value. Ask the luck oracle if they have a new rumour to share. Set the odds based on the NPC run result. Okay, so basically, yeah, the oracle, we went past that a minute ago. I didn't really go through it, but yeah, that is for rumours and that kind of thing. Picking up new factions, player facing opposed roles. So NPC difficulty, So a standard NPC is difficulty of 1, an expert is 2, and a master is 3. Solo combat, soloing the swarm, end of the road. And then we've got at the back here our so this is a player character sheet. We have a haven sheet. We have a challenge sheet. And we have a travel log. And then the best thing you can get in any decent book is an index. It really frustrates me how many RPGs you get that do not have a decent index in it. But that's it. That is it. So I cannot wait to get started with this. Genuinely excited. Lots and lots of very cool content. Like I say, I will be doing kind of it'll be a very heavily edited solo run through. So the solo in this looks very much like a mix between actually playing the games you normally would and a bit of a kind of roll and write adventure. Both of which I love, to be fair. So very, very much looking forward to it. So yeah, I will be back within the next month or so with a solo playthrough, and we can have another good look at it then. I will be back in the next few days to take a look at this. Now this has been out for some time, but I have got it now. I cannot wait to get started with it. Death in Space, a kind of cosmic adventure. I kind of backed away from this when it first came out. I had a lot on, lots of different things to play and that kind of thing. But yeah, certainly from a source book perspective, this looks great. But I'll cover that later on in a different video. But there you go, Walking Dead universe, core rules, and starter set. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you drop the subscribe. Any questions, stick them in the comments. Thanks a lot. See ya.